eventually I will find the maker of this song and let them know I'm using this beautiful tune. Happy Friday. I am beyond happy to be here with you guys today, because today has been a day, and I have an amazing guest today, my brother Jamel Gaines, and it really is interesting the way, first of all, hope you're all well. Thank you for always joining in and being here with me. Hey, Maudie. It's always interesting to me the way the universe works. And today I heard some terribly disturbing news out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I hadn't heard about this. It happened last week. And if you haven't heard, there was a shooting at a gas station involving 3 black teens. 2 sadly died. 1 is in the hospital by, a white man that they got into a verbal altercation with at a gas station. He went to his car, came back, and shot up the car. So, hold your people close. We got to come together. This cannot keep happening. Sorry, it was like starting episode crying. But I'm lifting up in prayers their family. I'm lifting up in prayers Indiana. We have to get, hate crime laws on the books. We got to do it. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen the story, please just check it out. And it just broke my heart today. And these were teenage young men who made it out of high school, graduated in the midst of COVID, only to be gunned down at a gas station. So, or some stupid confrontation, verbal confrontation. So, I love you guys. Stay connected, stay strong, stay focused. It's hard out here. It's tough out here, and people are just not well. It's a sickness. It is a sickness. It is a sickness. This is a disease. Yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is a virus, but this country has long been dealing with a virus, which is racism and supremacy, white supremacy, and we have got to crush it. We have got to crush it. We're all tired of it. And I know I'm preaching to this choir right here. I love you guys, but so that's why I say I'm so thankful to be talking to this brother today. So without further ado, I want to bring in the founder, artistic director, my good brother, Mr. Jamel Gaines of Creative Outlet Dance Theater. I believe he has already sent me a request. Yes. Okay. Are you there, Jamel? Are you coming in?
Yes. Hey, darling. How are you?
I'm sorry for that sad.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry, Jamel.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I did not mean for that to happen.
It's okay. It's okay. It's real, right? Is it real? It's real.
It's so real.
It's real. It's real. It's just the times that we're living in. And what we have to do is we have to teach. We have to teach, and we have to bring it to the table. Yes. Because if we keep it hidden, then, so we have to teach.
Yes.
We have to teach. I had a meeting today with NYU Dance Department today, and that was one of the things that we talked about, is that having dialogue. We have to have dialogue, and we have to teach. And if we don't have that dialogue, unfortunately, we have these kinds of situations. So, so.
And I haven't heard about it. I tune into the news. I try not to overdo it because it can be a lot, right?
Right.
And my dear friend Michi told me today, and because she was devastated, and we both were just like. And so when I realized, I was like, and I'm talking to Jamel today.
Right.
So I am so blessed and thankful that it's you that I'm talking to today, because we have these conversations all the time. We just had last week about.
Yes.
I don't know if you can speak freely about it, but we're like, this is who we are. We're not asking permission anymore to be who we are.
Right. Yeah.
This is our art. This is our talent. This is our culture.
Yes.
So, I love you now. Welcome.
How are you, beautiful? How you doing, gorgeous
I dressed
young
up
lady?
for you. Look, I got on my Woonby dress, styled by the Zinda Williams House of Zinda. I got dressed up. Okay, so I'm working on little fancy dress. And actually, this is a dress I wore 2 summers ago when I presented Fela.
Oh, okay.
At Central Park, SummerStage. And so
I was there.
You were there. Absolutely. You were there. So tell us how you're doing, where you're coming in from. I think are you at your studios?
I'm in my office. We're in our office. Our office is downtown Brooklyn at 138 South Oxford. Art New York, Arts Alliance. They have an office in Manhattan, and they have an office here in Brooklyn. And we also have a studio right across the hall too, which we'll get to at the end of the presentation. Yeah. So
I need to block my eyes. My eyes are burning because now I've got mascara in my eyes. Sorry, y'all.
Do what you got to do. We're here.
Okay, this is real.
We're here. Do what you got to do. We're good. We're good. We're good.
So, yes, I have so many questions for you because you guys, if you guys don't know who Jamel Gaines is, you really need to go to his website. The website is linked in my bio. Learn about the company, learn about all the amazing work he does in his community. It's all about the community and the work with the kids. And listen, I have never had the honor and privilege of being a mother, but I feel like all of our kids are our children. And we have to think that way. Black, white, brown, whatever. We're all our kids. And so, but what you're doing in our community specifically is so important. And we have to keep that tradition. And I posted, again, if you guys are following me on Instagram, which clearly you are because now you're here, go back and look at some of the videos I posted today of Jamel's students, the testimonials, and the one little girl that was highlighting Ruby Bridges. I cried just watching it. Because you know me. But it's all about legacy. And we can't forget. And I also posted a brief clip from Remembering. That powerful ballet of yours.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we go back.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
When we were both skinny.
Yes.
Okay, just skinny.
Big shoulders like this.
Okay. So tell us. I mean, I know most of it, but just remind us. Oh, awesome job, Jamel. Oh,
thank you, babe.
Thank you, beautiful.
Thank you.
Remind us how you started, where you grew up. Tell us about your family, how you got into dance, all of it.
Okay. Well, I always like to, Danny, I always like to give thanks to my parents. Yeah. Because my parents gave me and made me feel that I could do anything. They really opened up the door to say, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whatever you want to be, you can be. They encouraged me to be involved in extracurricular activities. We did swimming. We did basketball. We did after school programs. We did karate. We did Boy Scouts. We did weekend trips. So I'm the oldest of 6. I'm the oldest of 6. It's 4 boys and 2 girls. So I was also trained to be the oldest also. So there was pressure around being the oldest as well. So there was a lot of pressure as well. So I started actually in arts and education. I started at a school in Queens, PS 123, and
I saw that. Uh-oh, little frozen. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Diane Brown at that school was an amazing teacher. And she said, get over here and pick up this girl. She said, get over here and learn this song. Take this script and memorize these words. And she did it to everybody. It didn't matter. She did it to the tough guys. She did it to the bad girls. She did it to everybody. So for me, I grew up in a school because of Diane Brown where we were just exposed to everything. I saw the original Wiz production.
Me too. That's how I got it.
Right. She took us to see the Wiz. She took us to see Grease. I saw Pearly on Broadway. So she would take us to see all of these different Broadway shows, and we did the shows in the school. So for me, the cultural and performing arts was a part of my education in the school system. And because of those lessons, it taught you show up on time. You better not be absent. You better be articulate. You got to come in with positive energy. So through the arts and education in Queens, that's how I got involved in the arts. And her daughter had a dance studio, Adrienne Brown, and Adrienne Brown was there. And Buster Grant was one of my teachers as well. Yes.
I didn't realize that. Buster
Grant was one of my teachers there. Adrienne Brown, Diane Brown, that was the base. And I studied with them. And then when I went to high school, that's when I went over to BJ's, and I had that relationship with Adrienne's studio and Bernice Johnson's studio as well. Yes. So it was those. Yes. I always say that I started my artistic relationship in Queens, and I got my artistic culture in Brooklyn. That's how I like to say, through Kevin Jeff and Jubilation and that whole crew as well.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Guys came out of Bernice Johnson's school,
Yes.
Nasha.
Yes.
I mean, Thomas from Alvin.
Yes.
Ailey.
Michael.
So many amazing dancers.
Yes. Yes. Aaron Duggar, Nasha, Chucky Epps.
Chucky Epps. Right.
Yes, Chucky Epps, Dawn Stewart, Dawn Branch, Jordy's, tons. Amy Higgins, tons. Roger Jeffries. A lot of them came out of that studio. And Queens was a real hot spot. So all throughout Queens, I mean, and you were in the studio, and you were exposed to high level of professionals, and that's just how it was. You know, so Queens was really, really hot. There was another studio in Queens that turned out artists, was the Gloria Jackson studio as well. So there were tons and tons of studios in Queens that really kept everybody on their toes as well. So I'm really fortunate to have been part of that legacy at Bernice Johnson. So yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about also now too, going on to, hey Monique, I see y'all coming into the room. We are talking with Jamel Gaines over here. Yeah, legacy baby. This is legacy right here. Tell me about them meeting Kevin Jeff and dancing with Jubilation.
Yeah. Well, I consider myself a Jubilation baby because when Kevin was starting
Jubilation, which is now deeply rooted, basically. I mean, it's sort
of right. Yes. Kevin Iega Jeff. Yes. So Crystal Hall and Aaron Duggar, who were like the major stars, they were all stars in my eyes. Everybody was a star, and everybody was just amazing. So Crystal Hall and Aaron Duggar were my teachers in my local studio at Adrienne's. So Aaron and Crystal kind of really mentored me and really brought me into the Jubilation family. Right after high school, I went to Purchase University. I got a Harry Belafonte scholarship at Purchase University.
So that's not, listen, you know. We can't just throw that into the conversation.
I'm sorry.
No. But we need to stop for pause. Tell us about that. So Jamel had a full scholarship to SUNY Purchase through Mr. Harry Belafonte organization, or what was it?
Yes. Well, you know, I was a studier. I was always a studier my whole life. I was not an artist that could just show up for rehearsal 10 minutes before the rehearsal started, or a class. So basically, class started at 10:30, and at 9:30, Jamel was on the floor stretching and doing his stuff and tendus and trying to get the leg up and splits and everything else. So what happened is that when the teachers would come into the studio to prep their class or to go over the class and everything, I was already in a full sweat by the time they got there.
You're already a 5 ballet.
I was already in full sweat by the time they got there. Exactly. So basically,
they're so lucky to have you because you understand that, and we'll get to it. But when you sent me those photos of the artists that have come through Creative Outlet, I blown away. I had honestly no idea, but we'll get to that. But keep going.
Thank you, babe. So yeah, so I mean that's how, and they were looking for a person of color to receive the Harry Belafonte scholarship, and hands down, I mean we had some very gifted artists that I went to school with. I'm not taking anything away from them. But I think that kind of work ethic, that where I was and the serious where I was, I thought that people went to college to focus and study and to get a degree and to be very good. So that's how I went in. I went in that way because that's how I was trained. That's how I was trained with Adrienne and BJ's and you know, and my whole crew. So I went in and they nominated me hands down to receive a scholarship, and he paid for my whole time at Purchase. So I got that Harry Belafonte scholarship. So that was a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. When I graduated from Purchase, actually my senior piece, you have to have a noted choreographer come in and put a piece on you. And Kevin Jeff came in and put a big group piece on me and the art. It was like 10 of us doing this piece called Gula Matari, which was the music is by Quincy Jones. This really athletic, technical piece with African movement and gorgeous technique and the feeling that you just take your breath away. So he put that piece on me, and right after Purchase, right after I graduated from Purchase, I went off and I started apprenticing with Kevin Jeff, and they made me apprentice. They made me apprentice, and you had to take the rehearsal like you were in the company. And I think it was one of their first international tours. It was just luck. I went on one of their first international tours. We went to Italy, Switzerland, and Germany and Austria.
Wow. Now, remind me, was Jubilation based here then?
It was based in Brooklyn, New York, yes.
Right. And then it moved to Chicago.
And then it moved to Chicago. Kevin actually moved to Chicago to take over Joseph Holmes' company first.
Right.
Yeah. He went there first. And then they, I don't know, in between, but that transitioned into Deeply Rooted.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's still doing amazing work. And we have a very close relationship still.
Yeah, you guys an amazing co-bill at
Bam
Fisher?
Yes, Bam Fisher, yes.
Right?
Yes.
I guess it was 2 years ago now almost.
Yes.
When we all still go to theaters and...
Yes. And the idea is to, Danny, for us to do different collaborations like this, because we speak the same language. I come from his legacy. So the idea is that if we could pass down you started off with legacy, and if we can keep that legacy going, it just makes sense. You know, so, we have a strong base obviously here in Brooklyn, and he has a strong base here in Brooklyn. So just the collaboration, and we plan to do many, many more things together as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're about the same age, right? I'm 50, I'll be 53. Okay.
Yes, I'm about that as well.
we started crossing paths.
Well, wait a minute. I saw you on stage, okay? Gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
but
of
still
course,
when I was still in Danko?
I think I saw you with Ailey first. I think I probably saw you with Ailey first. I think I grew up with Desmond. Desmond lived around the corner from us in Queens. Yes. So Desmond's one of my childhood friends from when we were in our early teens. So I think I first saw you with that photograph that Annie, what is her name? Annie Leibovitz?
Yes.
Took. Yeah, I think that's the first time. Gorgeous.
Oh,
absolutely gorgeous. And then I saw you in Shelter. I saw you in Him. So no, I've been following you a long time, beautiful. You know that.
Speaking of legacy, I went down. First of all, I don't know if I sleep anymore. Whatever. And my sister was like, well, when you get a certain age, you sleep less. I was like, girl, whatever. But I went down a deep rabbit hole last night. Hey, Jeremy. A deep rabbit hole last night looking for more information on the great choreographer Jean-Hill Sagon. And I posted a clip of this ballet he did called Elegy that we did at the Joyce in 1990. I guess I was 21, 22. But, and talking about legacy and being able to have easy access to know about these choreographers for the next generation. And we all know about Alvin Ailey, and rightly so. He deserves all of that love and joy. But not so much to a certain extent like Donnie McHale, Tally Beatty. I was just on a chat this week with Ballet Hispanico. We talked about Tally Beatty and his legacy. But Jean-Hill Sagon, he spent many years in Israel choreographing for Bat Dor and Bat Sheva. And in fact, he also did 2 works on Ailey in the late 70s. So I went down a deep dive last night trying to find information on this one particular ballet called And After. So if anybody's watching, but in any case, I want to find his work and more of his work, because I know Phil Danko's was, he was a resident choreographer there for many years for his passing. And for me, working with Jean-Hill Sagon mainly, because of course we worked at that time with Tally Beatty, Elisa Monte, Milton Myers, but it was Jean-Hill Sagon that shaped me. Wow. That really shaped me, fine-tuned me, got me gathered and ready for the next And so I feel like there was something deep in my soul last night that felt like I owe him that.
Right.
I owe him that.
Yeah.
And more people need to know who he is,
Yes.
is.
Yes.
So sorry for that little tangent.
No, no, no. It's fine. Yeah. I did Kevin Jeff, myself, and Juan. I can't think of Juan's last name. We did one of his works just before he passed. We did it with this young lady named Mia in DC. She had a company in DC, and it was a trio. And so I did have the opportunity and the pleasure and the honor of working with him. So
I never knew that.
Yes, we did a trio. Kevin Jeff, myself, and this gentleman named Juan. And I can't think of Juan's last name. Yes, so I know what you're talking about.
And and Gene, again, going down this deep dive, he passed away right before I got into Ailey. And he told me, like, because I would go to his apartment, like, on the weekends, or he lived in this really cool downtown apartment in the building. He would just keep his door open, and the fire escape. He had all these wind chimes. I remember it so vividly. He just kept his door open. He was with his, back in the day with the cigarettes.
Right.
He was in the studios back there.
Definitely.
Right? But he would talk to me about what I needed to do to work on my technique, work on my lines, work on my weight. Because when I first got into the company, I was fickle, funny, okay? But he was like, I want to see the collarbones. I want to see the chest bones.
Right.
He wasn't trying to make me anorexic, of course.
Right,
but
right.
He just wanted me to like really become that professional image of what he envisioned for me. And so, yeah, he passed away right before I got into Ailey. That March, he passed away that year, 1991. Subsequently, Corbett McNeil, who's in the video with me that I posted.
I saw the video.
In May, and then he ended up passing away in May, like right after Gene.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And so watching that clip, I mean, I do have the full film somewhere on my computer, but watching that clip, I remember on my way to New York for the audition, I remember saying, I'm doing this for them. Like, I'm going to go after this for them, and lo and behold. So now you're in Jubilation. And how many years were you in Jubilation?
I graduated in 87, and I would say I danced with him. Well, I've always been connected with him. So if you know what I mean? So we never really lost, that contact. And whether it was professional projects or community projects, or I've set his ballets, and so I've taught master classes with him. I traveled with him. So it's continuous. It's about the relationship. So there's really no, there's no time frame of we stopped. It was always continuous.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
To your point about that Philadelphia announcement that we were like.
Right. Exactly. Right. It's like
it's family.
If Miss Jones calls you, you're there. Right.
I'm there. That's
exactly.
It.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
So tell me about starting Creative Outlet and the thought behind that and why.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, in the late 80s and going into the 90s, we lost a lot of people during the AIDS crisis.
Yes.
Unfortunately. When Kevin Jeff transitioned to Chicago, there was a void missing for me and the artists that have worked so closely with him and the artists that were coming up that worked with him. So it was like, let's just have rehearsal. Let's go. There was no big vision about we're going to do this thing and we're going to do this. And it was like, let's just pull people together and have rehearsal. Either you could sit at home and wait for backstage and go to auditions and, sit on a couch with a remote, or you could be in a or you could be in a rehearsal process.
Eating popcorn
or Haagen-Dazs. So the concept really started from let's just get into rehearsal. Simultaneously at that time, I got two gigs at the same time. I got a gig. Kevin recommended me to choreograph Black Nativity at my church, St. Paul's Community Baptist Church. He recommended me for that gig. And then my sister recommended me for a gig at teaching at a private school called Phil's Academy.
Mm.
So it was like those three things kind of lined up together.
Mm-hmm.
So the community that we were building at the church with arts and bringing cultural and performing arts at the church,
Mm-hmm.
me teaching at Phil's Academy, and then also starting a rehearsal with artists that were just hanging around and artists that we were inviting in.
Yeah.
So CO, really, the concept was just about bringing friends together. So
Yeah.
I have to give, right, it was about bringing, I mean, and some of those original members, the original founding members were Jacquette Green, Peter Moore, Peter Moore, Bahia,
yes.
Anika Ellis, Melissa Vaughn, Eddie Stockton.
Call them out.
Co-founders Lakaiwa Rao and Kevin Joseph.
Yes.
So I don't want to forget anybody. I don't want anybody to beat me up.
Yes.
but just to say that core group, I mean, just those names right there, people are just like, you know, amazed at. So we just went into rehearsal and we were Vina Cooper. So we were in rehearsal doing great Glenn Sims. Glenn was my roommate. Glenn, Brianna Reed.
Wait, I have some more names for you. Let me see. Jeroboam, Brianna Reed.
Right.
Charisma J was up.
Right. So yeah. So we were in. I mean, that group right there was the first foundation of just being in a rehearsal process. There was no really big vision that, oh, we're doing this dance company and we're going to be the next this. So we just enjoyed being together and being in a rehearsal process.
You know, it's so funny. That's beautiful. I can't remember now who I was talking to or who said it, but someone was like, most companies just start because somebody said, let's just get together and do some stuff.
That's exactly how we started, Danny.
But I also think what you said before, though, about there was a void. And
Yes.
You saw, but you say you didn't have the vision or a vision for this that you got, but what you sensed was the void. So that's your vision. That is the vision, that you're filling that void for the community. Yeah. And that, again, legacy. That's what Joan did. Right. That's what Alvin did.
Yes.
He filled the void. He filled in the gap. He filled in the inequities.
Yes.
He brought us together.
Yeah.
So that is the vision, Jamel.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then, you know, as I mentioned, those two other entities, and the church was doing all these big, they weren't just doing like step, clap production. Okay. They were doing these big
step, clap production.
Right. They were doing these big productions with sets and lighting and this and smoke and angels coming in and
come on angels.
And, you know, they were bringing in guest artists and this and that. Yes. So with that, and then we had, I was teaching at Phil's Academy. I was teaching at a school. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, so it was kind of like, yo, this thing was like, you know, there was a foundation happening. We were creating a regular rehearsal process schedule. We were doing productions at the church. People were asking us to do side performances and weddings and colleges and this and schools. And so it was just kind of like there was a natural momentum that had taken. Mm-hmm. There was a natural momentum that had taken. Yeah. And Lakai and Kevin were really instrumental in helping solidify that foundation with me. You know? So it's and then the artists, I mean, these were like stellar artists that could dance anywhere in any company and anybody's stage. Absolutely. So I mean, hello, you know what I mean? So that's really how we started. That's really how we started. And then, you know, and then with our school, I was doing a solo at church to a poem. And then a school teacher had approached me and she said to me, hey, I have a contract in my school. Would you like to come in and teach in my school? And that's how arts and education started. Oh. That's how arts, she just came up to me. She asked me, you know, if I would come and teach in her school. And I was like, sure, we could come and teach in your school. Sure, we could come and teach in your school. Right, exactly. Exactly. So, exactly. Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. So that's what happened. So arts and education started that way. And then from Phil's Academy, and then the people at the church, they want to send their kids to train with us.
Yes.
So it was just kind of like this. It was just kind of like this building block of things that happened. It happened organically, Danny. It just happened organically. I mean, obviously, you know, we had great training from our teachers and the institutions and the schools that we came from. And then organically, it just started building a foundation from there. And that's how it was, you know, with the artists in the rehearsal, all the church presentations, and then Phil's Academy, people asking us to do projects, you know, and it was a platform for artists who were trying to get in even bigger projects, obviously. It was a platform.
If you guys are just joining in, thank you for being here. As always, I am talking with Jamel Gaines of Creative Outlet Dance Theater of Brooklyn. And when I looked at that list, I mean, dancers, teachers, artists that have come through Creative Outlet have gone on to Broadway, Lion King, Fela, are in Alvin, Ailey now, dancing with Beyonce, Ashley Everett, the dance captain for Beyonce.
Khadijah Nicholas. Khadijah Nicholas with Rihanna.
Khadijah Nicholas.
Yeah.
You know, The Color Purple.
Yes.
You know, and then even talking about in terms of legacy, then you mentioned Lakai Worrell and Kevin Joseph. Kevin Joseph, who with Dina Wright Joseph, Pure Elements, also in Brooklyn, whose amazing daughter, Shahadi Wright Joseph, blowing up as an actress, was in that movie Us. So it's all about the legacy, the continuity, the continuation.
Yes.
It's all of it. It's all of it.
Yeah, Danny, I have to mention, unfortunately, we lost someone last year, a year from now. I don't know if you know the rapper, speaking of the rapper Pop Smoke.
Yes.
Pop Smoke was from our school as well.
Oh, no way.
He was one of our students in the school as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, he was one of our students in the school. And just speaking of that we were very instrumental in making sure that young men understood the cultural, the spiritual, the holistic, the artistic side of artistry and cultural and performing arts. That it was just not just the entertainment part of it, but really understanding that this is a vehicle. So we gave the brothers a platform to tap into another side of themselves that they didn't think. I mean, come on, you living in East New York and you think you're going to be doing African and modern dance and doing gentes and this and that and so forth. So we created a space through all of the different programming that we had in the community on a professional level, on a community level, on a pre-professional level. So we have a very diverse group of artists. And it wasn't just about them becoming dancers. It was about exposing them to cultural and performing and spiritual ministry arts as well. So it was many different layers. So again, and it just happened through organic, and we got support from the community. We got support from principal and teachers and the pastors and so forth. So, you know, so our roster of artists is very diverse.
Yes. And like, you know, I had Charisma J on 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And everything that she's working on, the ranks. And I had to remember that, you know, that moment. Because so I've had Jamel Gaines, Creative Outlet. You were performing at SummerStage way before I came in. In fact, I think the summer before I took over as the curator, you had opened for Urban Bush Women at the park, right?
Yes.
So being able to then bring you back under my tenure was so awesome. And if you've never been to any of those shows, especially citywide, where Jamel is also teaching the class.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. You know me. I love it.
Those dance classes. Wait, somebody's saying, Pop Smoke, his mom gave an interview, and you could see that there was so much more to that young man. Bravo for your influence, Jamel, from Zinda. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Testimony.
A beautiful soul. Beautiful soul.
Yeah.
I have quick stories that because I didn't know that what he was doing musically. And my son and I, my son was 15 and we were downtown Brooklyn on Fulton Street. And we were standing at the bus stop, and his name is Bashar. And Bashar walked up to me, and Bashar gave me a big bear hug. Bashar's a big, he's short in stature, but he's a big guy too. He gave me this big bear hug. and my son is standing there with his mouth dropped open. Because my son knew him as Pop Smoke.
Right.
I didn't know him as Pop Smoke. I knew him as my student Bashar, as one of my sons. And we're talking, and we're laughing and joking. I was like, Bashar, give me your number. I said, I want you to come to take class with us. Take class with us. He was like, yo, Jamel, I don't do dancing like that anymore. He said, Jamel, I do music. I do music. I was like, Bashar, just come and take class with us. Just come and take class with us.
Meanwhile, your son's jaw is on the ground.
My son is like, Dad, you are crazy. You are so crazy. My son's like, Dad, you don't even know who this is. So anyway, you know, we exchanged numbers. We said, so when he walked away, Soleil was like, my son's name is Soleil. He was like, Dad, do you know who that is? I was like, that's for sure. He's one of them. He's like, Dad, he's a very famous rapper in the community.
Oh my God. Monique Martin just said cool dad points.
Right. He was like, Dad, my whole school knows him. He's very popular right now. He said, Dad, everybody knows him. So anyway, yeah, a beautiful, 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 incredible person. And when I went to his funeral, I mean, he was talking about doing fashion and this, and you know, a beautiful family. He comes from a beautiful family as well. So he is one of our, you know, princes, you know, young prince, and he had a vision. So I'm just glad that we had that exchange, and it's important that we continue to, you know, build as we do our professional work. It's very important that we keep that relationship with the next generation and connecting.
So
you know, it's amazing. So this is a small example of that's important for us to do that. And I think that it's an exchange. It's not just about teaching. It goes both ways. That we get as well. You know, it goes both. They get, you know, we get to exchange. You know, we get to exchange energy.
That. And it's not everybody that does this, but I feel like sometimes, you know, the older generation can be like, it's an exchange.
It's an exchange.
You don't want to be so that the young ones tune you out. You know, you want to listen. You want to see, well, what are you thinking about, youngin? And I love the fact that, I mean, I love my babies. I love the youngins.
Yes.
I love being around young people.
Yes.
I love their energy.
Yes.
And just seeing what they're into. Who you listen to? Sometimes I feel old. I'm like, who's that? You know, I love that you called him. He's one of my sons.
Yes.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, so going back to Creative Outlet.
Yeah.
Had or celebrated, maybe you're still in it. Hey, Dawn. An anniversary.
Yes, we're still celebrating, and we're gonna keep celebrating. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Throw your hearts up, people. Throw your hearts up, people.
There we go. Listen. And Danny, listen, I am still that Saturday kid that comes into the studio on Saturday, and you can hear the drums going and the music is going and the kids are running around, and I'm blessed to have that energy and that spirit of I love that connection on the Saturday. So I'm still that kid who's very excited about the arts. Who's
and
still
you know, the shows, like whenever I see, whenever we talk,
Thank you.
Always so much energy.
Thank you.
Stage, whether you're teaching, performing yourself.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. And so I also want to make sure people know about the fact that, yes, I've presented Creative Outlet a few times, but we were planning a big Juneteenth show last year at the 155th anniversary of Juneteenth to commemorate that. And we know COVID happened. So I leaned in on Jamel and leaned it in a way like, well, what can we do instead? Like, let's figure this out, because I don't want to let this idea go, because it was the first time ever that SummerStage had ever acknowledged, to my knowledge, Juneteenth ever. And so we went digital, and Jamel helped me put together an amazing, amazing program featuring a panel discussion with my mind right now.
Indira at Restoration.
Initially, yes.
I'm sorry, right. Indira. Carl Hancock Brooks.
Right.
And
the singer.
Marcel Lashley.
Marcel Lashley Davies, exactly.
Right. And myself, yes.
it was a panel about what does Juneteenth mean to you? Did you know about Juneteenth growing up? And then Jamel galvanized his company and created a beautiful film featuring the solo hanging tree. So it got so much press. It was amazing. And
Thank you,
that
Danny.
was you,
Thank
Jamel.
you.
That was
Thank
all
you.
you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
if you go back to my
Thank you.
page later after this, I
Thank
put
you.
a link to it. I reshared it in my link tree so you can go see the full program
Yeah.
and watch it again. And we're, oh, I'm not giving away anything.
No, you're good. You're good.
But we're talking, Jamel and I are talking again about trying to recreate that for this Juneteenth. So more to come on that.
Yes.
Because we have to.
We have to. It's very important. Yes, very, very important. I think that, and I said this in my discussion today when I was on at NYU, is that as an artist, we start training. I know I did, and it's all about the physical, learning the technique and learning, how to stretch this and how to do that. And, so we do a lot of institutionalized physical training.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes we don't do the social and spiritual and community stuff that's going. We don't have a consciousness because we're such athletes and we're just kind of like tunnel vision around our training. Mm-hmm. And which is needed if we're going to be tip top and we're going to be the best.
Right.
But when I got into my church life and I started doing these ministry works around productions and the history, I started to understand, and even Jubilation as well, I started to learn social activism, political activism, spiritual activism. And I started learning, most of the time we're just taught about Dr. Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. And when I got the basics, Rosa Parks. But when I got to church, this church university, I started to learn a whole nother history around life and Black Lives Matter and slavery and social injustice and just all these and spiritual work as well and religious work as well. But I think that this was a pastor, the Bishop Reverend Dr. Johnny Ray Youngblood, who
I was going to ask you about him. I'm glad you called him out.
Yes, who really exposed us, and he's deep. He exposed us and he made us and he pushed us to think outside the box of artistry. He get that we were very talented in our area and that people were talented. That was great. But he also challenged us to come outside of that comfort zone and learn other things. And with learning other things and social issues and what's going on in the community, voters' rights and tapping into the community around housing, community development and all of these. If you have another knowledge of life skills and social activism and understand that, and you can bring that to your artistic life, your voice of your presentation and what you're presenting as art can even have a stronger voice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So bringing that and having another schooling through my church life, to me, brought another level of my artistic life of having a voice. When you look at when you hear Nina Simone speaks, and she speaks about that the artists have to not just do the physical work, but that their voice and that their art should really tell a story for social change and social justice.
We're working on a grant at SummerStage for our arts programming, and they asked me just to bullet point all my dance programs. And they asked me specifically why I included that footage of Nina Simone in our film. And I had to break it down.
Right. Yeah. We have to. I presented a Black History presentation about a week ago. And we had about 10,000 kids look at our Black History film.
Yes.
And unfortunately, one of the schools, because they got a sneak preview of the film the night before, unfortunately, but what happened is they pulled out they didn't want to show the film to the students. And what happened is it's really unjust that we have people that are managing and educating over 500-600 students in the school, and that the staff is non-Black, and that they don't understand the lifestyle. They don't understand the young people that they're supposed to be educating, and that they are supposed to be helping them get to the next level. If you don't understand these people and where they come from and their community and their background and their culture, how do you make over $100,000 a year with direct deposit, and then you can't even really relate to the students that you're supposed to be educating and taking to the next level? They canceled the show because they didn't understand the video. And then I got texts and emails from all of the schools saying how wonderful it was, and it was so informative, and A, B, C, and D. In this one school, and where mostly of non-Black folks are running the school, canceled the project because they didn't believe it. They didn't believe it because they didn't understand the culture. They don't understand the body of people who they're servicing, and they're supposed to educate and take them to the next level. So it's very important, as Nina Simone says, and as the conversations that we're having around social injustice in this country that we live in, and not only just this country, but throughout the world. I think that 2020 has unfortunately, George Floyd, and this has given people another what's the word? We have platforms now.
Yes.
We have platforms now. So the idea is, the idea is that this unfortunate situation opened up the box for conversations.
Right.
And not only just here, all over the world. So
we talked about this a week ago,
right,
maybe before. And, since the shutdown, the pandemic, and I was already starting to have some of these conversations, but we have to just keep creating our own spaces and tables.
Correct.
And
correct.
I will share with you really quickly before I came on, because I would say to you, go airplane mode and go this and do that. I was shutting down my laptop right before I shut down. And if you're watching, I love you for sending me that email. I got an email from an individual, because you never know who's watching, first of all. So we got to keep like the Mr. Soul show that I've been bragging about and telling everybody who can listen to watch this show or see the movie, the documentary, Ellis Hazlip. But I got an email today, right before I came on, someone, a high profile, I guess, publicist person, agent, asking me if I will be interested in talking to one of their artists on this right here. In my living room with my little jerry rigged lighting system, IG live from my living room, talking to people just like this during COVID. Chicken Scratch Productions, And I literally, I called a friend of mine. I was like, girl, I just got this email. Yeah. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're inspiring. Yeah. I talked to another friend of mine today. We go back and forth about having that imposter syndrome. Like, do we deserve what we're getting? Do we, in the good way? Yeah. All the accolades or attention or this and that, because we've been so conditioned to think less of ourselves, and we're not as good as, or all that other bullshit, because that's what it is. Right. It's gaslighting, it's all of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Claim it, own it, be it, whatever. Right. Shine. Right. And you're doing that, and I feel like this is what you're instilling in these young people that you're working with. And I'm so thankful for that. They have you, that we have you in our community, Jamel.
Thank you. I think that it really starts with my family. Yeah. It starts with my family, and I'm blessed. I always tell my mom that I'm blessed that she's my mom. I'm blessed that she is my mom. And sometimes, she doesn't feel good about decisions, or, we didn't grow up financially, according to American standards. We were not financially well off at all. Yeah. But I never felt it. I never felt it because I always had access. I was always believed that I can do whatever I want. We always did amazing things. We always did family things together. So the actual dollar amount was never really a factor in my growing up, because I always had, and I always had, right. And then I had aunts and uncles who always told me that you're going to do great things, or you're going to do this. They didn't maybe always know how to get me there. Yes. But just to instill that in my head and in my spirit and everything kind of gave me the confidence, and that I could believe that I can do whatever I wanted to do.
I love that.
You know, so yeah, and this is the idea. This is the work. This is my life's work. I'm really blessed. I'm blessed to have grown up around amazing artists, and from Queens, as we talked about, as we said, Raquel Chavis, Melissa D'Souza, who else? Alan Barnes. Who else? So I had this great around artists who I was around. Arlene Xavier. I was around these artists who said, I'm going to college. I'm doing this. I'm going to be this. So there was never not an opportunity to not think in this way of moving forward. It was just not. It was not there. Yes. You know what I mean?
Oh, Charisma J. Thank you, Big Jamel. Big J.
Who said that?
Charisma.
Oh, okay. Yes. She's amazing.
She's another one. I mean, just so
she's amazing.
Talking about her mom.
She's doing amazing work. Chanel Da Silva, Nigel Campbell, all the artists that came from CL, Victor Reddick, Kevin Hunt, Danny Soto, somebody's gonna kill me, Malika Reed, all of that, Caretha Davis, Shola Roberts, all of these artists who really was really part of our family as we were growing. So I love the work. Yeah. I want to continue doing the work. We have amazing teachers. Shirley Black Brown is our mentor. She's our mentor teacher. I mean,
Miss Shirley Black Brown.
That's my teacher. You know what I mean? Miss Wilhelmina Taylor, Obadiah Wright. Obadiah Wright as well. So these were staple teachers who were a huge part of setting the foundation. Leonora Stapleton. You know Leonora Stapleton. Right. So she taught ballet with us in the beginning. So we were very fortunate to have these artists in the environment, and we were very clear that this work was about moving to the next level, tapping into people's spirituality, creating a safe space to as everybody's figuring out life. You know what I mean? So I would say more than just the dance company, we were like a cultural community around art and culture and spirituality and healing and so forth, and we went through shit like everybody else, and we had stuff that we had to go through and so forth. But
wait, what was that show? Who was that show I came to? And I'm only laughing because I was so tickled by the babies. What was that show I came to at the church, Mount Pisgah, in near Von King Park?
Yes, you talking remembering.
Remembering.
You came to a remembering.
But so I was sitting towards the back because I knew I couldn't stay for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And because I'm at the top of Manhattan, so I was like, ooh, I can stay for the whole thing, but I'm gonna stay as long as JT Taylor, thank you, Jamel, for all that you do. I had the best time designing costumes for creative outlet. Oh, JT
did one of he did this amazing costume from our Stevie Wonder piece called All I Do. And beautiful, gorgeous costume.
You always go all out, Jamel. But so I went to the show in Brooklyn. I got on a train, the A to the G. I need to use a map thing on my phone, but whatever. I got there, and I'm sitting towards the back, and I'm seeing the people come in, and there's people from the community, and they're there for their night out.
Yes.
To see this production.
Yes.
And then, so because I'm sitting towards the back, I was near where the children were.
The kids were. Yes.
All these babies in their costumes.
Yeah.
And they're there was one little girl. I think she got a little nervous, and at the last minute she got scared, and she was like, "I don't want to." And you were like, "Okay, well then you going over here. So we gonna just keep on going, but somebody get her." But they were ready, and just looking at their eyes and seeing that there were people in the audience, and you would say, "Go, it's now!" And they were running down the aisles, honey.
Yes. Yeah.
And the littlest one probably had to be like 3.
Yes.
Performing at 3 years old.
Yeah.
In her costume, in the front, running down the aisle, up to the stage. I mean, come on. Artists like, Talu and all these other, it's like, the experience of that, whether they become professional or not.
Correct.
People always have that experience.
Listen, we
like to be part of a group.
It's and then we were clear also as CO that everybody didn't have to be on stage.
Right.
We were very clear. Everyone didn't have to be an Ailey. We love Ailey. We love all the Broadway shows and all those projects that everybody's in all over the world, to the Tonys and the Oscars and the Grammys, and that's great. We also have some lawyers. We have business owners. We have people that are working in the court system. We have a array of artists. We have an array of artists. And then we have all different body sizes.
Right on.
You know what I mean? So we have all different body sizes as well. So that was the focus. And what we tried to do, when I use the word try, is that we were trying to teach the art at a very high level, even if people still didn't want to choose it as a profession.
Right.
You know what I mean? So so the structure, the community that we built, the culture, the spirituality, the healing, the dance company, our young artist program, our cultural arts program, arts and education. We were in 40 schools doing everything from dance, theater, music, poetry, script writing, mask making, set design, lecture demonstrations. When we saw talent in the Board of Education, we would give those kids scholarships to our Saturday program as well.
That's amazing.
So it was like wherever we went as a crew, when we met people, we would bring them into the CO organization. This summer, right after we did Juneteenth with you, I started doing classes in Fort Greene Park, right in that same plaza there. I started doing free classes outside for the public, and I created this program called Studio in the Park. Studio in the Park. And
are you going to resume that as it gets warmer? Will you continue?
We're going to do it again. We're going to start again.
Beautiful.
And it's free classes. It's free outdoor classes. You bring your sneakers, you bring your mask, you bring your hand sanitizer, and you bring your water. And your love. And we do 2 3-hour classes. And we love it. 2 3-hour classes. And we're blessed. You know, we've made an adjustment. You know, obviously, like everybody else, via COVID, we're doing very creative programming, very different type of programming. Artists come back and choreograph on the professionals to the young artists, and it's really connected with the school. I've been invited, my artists that have been doing main stage performances with Rihanna and So You Think You Can Dance and all the Broadway shows. Raven, who was one of the artists here, took me backstage. She was doing something with Cirque du Soleil. Ryan took me to So You Think You Can Dance. Khadijah took me to backstage with Rihanna. So I get invited back to do and connect and meet with all these different people via the fruits of labor of everyone here. So yeah.
So the free classes that will resume when it gets a little bit warmer.
Yes.
Will all that information be on your website?
It'll all be on our website, creativeoutlet.org.
But also you put them on social media as well.
Yes.
But guys, make sure you follow you after this, or if you're not already, follow Jamel on all his pages and platforms. You can also see, footage of his past concerts and all the amazing things. And his website is linked in my bio. Let me see if there was anything else, because I know you want to take us on a little tour.
Sure. Yeah, I want to take you on a little rehearsal tour.
So, wait. Can we talk really quickly, though, about how you came to start working with Spike Lee? Can we talk about it?
Yeah, Spike. One of the teachers at the school that we work at on Saturday. She bought us, and she works very closely with Spike.
Okay.
And when Spike was doing the Michael Jackson parties and he was doing Prince parties, she recommended us to come in and work with Spike. And we've been doing that annually with him. We've been doing Prince with him. We've been doing all the Michael Jackson stuff with him. I'm assuming that, I think this year he's going to do Michael Jackson this year.
Yes.
He's going to do. So yeah, he's been great. And you know, Spike is one of those people who's very spontaneous as well.
Yeah.
So he's just like, come over here. He was like, okay, I want you to dance on stage. So he pulled me up on stage and was like, okay, I need you to do this. You know, so he's great. He's wonderful. We love doing these presentations with him. The audience goes up. We do Thriller. Like I had I did work with Michael Peters, who was the choreographer of Thriller, and really who started the video revolution. So we always want to pay tribute to Michael Peters, who was the choreographer of Thriller as well. So we've done, I think this will be I think we've done it like 4 times with Spike. And we hope to continue to continue working with him as well.
Great. Well, I have a few minutes, but I want you to take us now. Thank you all for always joining. This is Jamel Gaines, Creative Outlet Dance Theater of Brooklyn. Follow his pages. Go to the website, make a donation, because you know, if you got a little change left over somewhere, you can contribute. Please support this brother and his efforts and his school. These babies, honey. Go to my page. I posted some amazing footage of some of his students, you know, with their testimonials about what Creative Outlet has shown them in their young lives and how it has improved their lives, as well as a little young lady doing the Ruby Bridges tribute. Yes. So take us on a tour. This is the first time ever.
So what we're going to look at is, this is a piece that we're using. I Have a Dream speech. It's a club mix version. So this is my adult class that came out of Studio in the Park, and a couple of professionals who are working with us. How much time do you want me to go, Danny?
Well,
about 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Well, you know how Instagram can get really tricky with time and music.
Okay.
So just to even, because I would hate to lose this video because we get cut down. I would say even less than a minute if we're hearing the music.
No problem. Okay. So we'll walk in. I'll let them do their thing, and I'll just take the camera around them and let them do their thing, and then you and I'll come back and close out. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah? I got it. Yep. I got it. Okay.
So while Jamel's getting set up with that, I just want to give a shout out to my girl, Corinne Plonta D, at 7 o'clock tonight on her page. She's actually interviewing someone that we spoke of earlier, Desmond Richardson. So at 7 o'clock tonight, please check out Corinne Plonta on her Instagram Live. It's called What's Good with Cat. Fabulous. Yes.
Just do your thing. No, just do your thing. You're good. You're good. You're good. It's okay. Just do a little movement when we get out.
This is so fun. Yes. Yes.
That works?
Yes.
There we go. Got it. I can see it better.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Oh my God, Jamel, if you can hear me, that's yes.
You're good?
I'm good. Yeah.
You're good? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, because I don't want the Instagram. Hi, I don't want the Instagram police to come after us. Hi. This is wonderful. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you all so much for that, Jamel. Oh my God. Yeah, the Instagram has been really on people when they play like, published music. So I would hate for this to get lost because
Okay.
they shut us down.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so what are you rehearsing for?
So what we're doing is we're closing out Black History Month. Really, we're really not closing out Black History Month because Black History is world history 365 days a year. So let's
say it again, Jamel. Say it again for the people in the back.
Black History is world history 365 days a year. So what we're doing is we're doing the I Have a Dream speech to club music.
Yes.
And we're going to move into women's history.
Yes.
Right. So what we're doing is mixing the two together. So this is my adult class right here. It's a free class. Go to our website. It's open to everybody. And we do really good work. We train them professional. They love it. We have about 20 to 45 people in this class.
Oh, that's amazing, Mel.
Right. This is a rehearsal right now. Go to our website, sign up for our website, and if anyone is interested. So this is rehearsal. We do 3-hour rehearsals with them.
I love it.
We do company rehearsal with them. So
yeah.
Step touch.
Right.
So yeah. So
I love it, Jamel. So anything else before?
This is my life work. This is my life work. It feeds me immensely. Through my teachers, Kazuko Hirabayashi and Kevin Jeff and Adrienne Brown and Buster Grant and Obadiah and Shirley Black Brown and all of them. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed to have been blessed with this artistic life.
Yes.
And I just pray that I continue to do healing around spiritual, artistic, and cultural work that feeds my soul, my spirit, and that I can connect with people in the community and just continue to keep it moving. I'm blessed.
Oh, and you will. We got you, brother. We got you.
Thank you, Danny.
Oh, I'm so glad we got to spend this time together today. I'm so happy, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of us.
Thank you.
You better name the legends. Yes, Monique.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was wonderful.
Thank you.
And more to come. We're still building brick by brick.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And we have some things coming up. COVID has hit us like everybody else.
Yeah.
That I said in my Zoom meeting today is that we were blessed to have a patron who helped us out with some finances during COVID.
Wonderful.
We were blessed that we don't have an overhead. We didn't have the overhead like a couple of my friends have. So it's been it's challenging, and we're being creative and thinking outside the box.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah, and we want to thank you. We want to thank you for presenting us and giving us a platform and giving us a voice and giving us a stage.
Yeah. Always.
So you know.
And more to come. Thank you so much for letting us come into your world today, showing us some rehearsal, first time ever.
Thank you.
On the day that you laugh.
I want you to close out with the rehearsal again. Hold on.
Okay. While he's walking through, I love y'all. Tune in next week. I have a legend in the dance world, Kim Beers, to kick off Women's History Month. Kim Beers is the new artistic director of Philadelphia. So next Friday at 5, I'm kicking off Women's History Month with Kim Beers. And I thank you always for watching. And I will see you next week. Stay humble, stay lovely, stay strong and encouraged. I love you, Jamel. We're going to see a little bit more. Yes. 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 Get it. on. Walk it out. Give it a walk. Yes. Yes. Hey. Come on. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Yes. Come on, kids. Yes. Well, we are going to take it out with that. I thank you guys for watching and listening. Thank you all so much. This was amazing. This has lifted my spirit so much. This has lifted me up so much, Jamel.
Thank you, baby.
I can't even tell you. My cheeks are killing me from her. I've been smiling so much this whole hour.
Thank you.
This was awesome. Stay strong, my brother. Stay safe.
Babe, thank you.
Love and hugs to your beautiful son.
Yes, thank you.
Family, everybody, thank you for watching and tuning in. If you missed any portion, as always, I'll be able to save it to my IGTV. I'll save it to my YouTube channel probably by tomorrow if you missed it. And watch the videos. Go to my link tree. Watch our Juneteenth presentation from last year. It was amazing. And support Creative Outlet Dance Theater and my brother Jamel.
Thank you, Danny.
I love you, my brother.
Love you.
We'll talk soon, okay?
I'll talk to you. Thank you, everybody. All righty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.